What is up, everybody? Welcome to the J and J Show, Season 1, Episode 2000. We've been doing this every day for the last 4 years. Only kidding. This is the second show. What is up, my man?
Yo, what's up, Joe? Always happy to do another J&J show.
J and J Show. Do you think I should change the name of the show, or how are you feeling about that?
Nah, I mean, I like it. It's us. Like,
It is, man. It is. What are you? I feel like I haven't talked to you since the last show. What have you been up to?
nah, you texted me. You texted me, said what's up, and other than that, man, I just been working, man. Things just super busy, and you know how it is. I'm pretty sure, like, especially whenever you're growing your own company, it's always, and you're at that point where you want to get to the next level, where you want to actually be able to take some time off. So it's like I gave like one of my assistants extra hours. I hired my friend, so it's been pretty crazy, but
Yeah,
good.
I heard
Crazy in a
about
good
that.
way, where it's like, where I know I could get to a certain point that I've wanted to for a long time by next year.
It's huge. It's huge, man. So how's obviously you guys are doing like the virtual events.
Yeah.
Huge demand there, or what's
Oh
that
my
work looking
God,
like?
it's such huge demand. It's like crazy. Like we're growing at a rate where we would have been happy if we were at this place like next year, but we're at this place in just a few months, and it's just keeps on growing. And I just like that the fact that we get to work on interesting projects, and just I'm glad that I have a good team, man. That's the most important thing. You have a team that you trust, that you can sort of be around. That it's just hard to find.
Yeah, yeah, that's huge, man. You guys have an awesome team. You got like marketing minds. You've got
Yeah.
content minds. You got so many people, man. But it's a lot to juggle that though with the LinkedIn stuff.
Like,
How's the LinkedIn content been going?
it's sort of taken a dive a little, in the sense of, like, my profile views are down, but I know it's because I'm not as active in sense of like commenting as much and all that. But my views in terms of my posts are still the same. Like, a lot of people talk about like the algorithm and they're down and all that stuff, but I find that for me, I put a lot of effort into my content. I like, not that it takes me a lot of time, but I put myself and put a little creativity. For me, it's been pretty much the same.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people have been talking about the algorithm, but
Yeah.
I don't even think it is the.
No, I just think it
I don't think it's the algorithm. I just think more people. I think all this preaching about got to post on
post every day.
LinkedIn, got to
Post
post
every
on
day, post
LinkedIn,
every day, post every day.
and then it's like everybody posts every day, and then suddenly everyone's reach goes down. So now the conversation is the reach is going down. We got to go to
It's like
Bizfluence.
you got to put effort into your content. Like, most people, they're not. I find a lot of people don't take content seriously. And Cindy asked what's for lunch. What are you eating? I
Oh
didn't eat.
man,
I didn't eat yet.
that's my wife's been giving me a lot of crap about that. She's like, "You never eat lunch," and then I packed a lunch today because I'm at my parents' house. Got to
Yeah.
get out of the house. Packed a lunch, forgot it. So
Oh well.
that's
Yeah.
what I
No,
got right here. The
I'm not a
pellet.
big. I mean, I love food, but I'm not a big lunch guy. I try to skip. Well, breakfast I skip almost like 99% of the time. Lunch I try to skip too. I just try to, like, for me, I'm one of those people where it's like, if I don't eat, it's easier for me not to eat. But if I eat, then it's like, oh, keep it coming. So for me, it's that's what I sort of do.
Yeah. Well, Cindy, what about you? What are you eating for lunch? You're
Yeah.
asking us the questions.
Hey,
What are
you
you
gotta. Cindy's eating the good stuff. I know it.
eating?
She's eating the good stuff.
I bet, man. It's the thing that I need to probably get better with is just like not eating lunch, but just like time blocking and like organization, man. Like that's been the biggest struggle in going solo is like
Yeah.
trying
Oh
to
man,
get a plan.
organizing your day. It's tough, man. It's one of those things that you just don't. It creeps up because it's not like, hey, you gotta. Oh, she's eating a Powerball. See the good stuff. That's the good stuff.
Cindy, you're on
That's
top
why
of it.
she. a spicy Power Bowl. No, I mean, look, I've been doing this for 2 years. It's so easy to
It's
just
spicy. Sorry.
either do too little work or do too much work. I don't think you'll have the issue of too little work, right? Because you have like a family, you have like motivation to do that stuff. The other thing I'll tell you is like what I see a lot of people is like the shiny object syndrome. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and for the audience that doesn't know, it's a lot of entrepreneurs where it's like, oh, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, where it's like, hey, this person made money this way, and nothing's stopping you, right, from pivoting and doing all that. So it's one of those things you just have to really be mindful of that. You have to really be mindful of like, look, I'm going to focus on a few things and I'm going to do them well. Or at least you have to make sure that you set enough time for like your core few things and then experiment with other things, because it's just like for any business, it just takes time to develop. Like even the virtual events, it was like 3 months where, you know, Matt, Chris, and I and Sid, where we work crazy hours and to just get it off the ground, right? And it's like if someone else wants to do it, they also have to put in their 3 months, right? They also have to put in their few extra months before it really gets them the returns that they want. And for some businesses, it doesn't happen in a few months. It takes like a year or two.
Yeah.
So you got to put in that time.
Yeah, I mean, I think someone posted about this too, and Cindy's just asking if we're using Zoom. No, we're using StreamYard, which is kind of similar to Zoom. It's probably better than Zoom in some ways if you can get people on it.
Yeah, because Zoom doesn't go out to other platforms, right?
No, I don't think it does.
Yeah.
So StreamYard and well, Junaid's got like an amazing camera, which is why it's so clear.
Yo, I gotta you get another we gotta upgrade from StreamYard eventually, because StreamYard doesn't support like the full 1080.
Oh really? Yeah, because my camera is, I've got a 1080 camera on the top of my laptop. But
I don't know. Most cameras say they're 1080, but they're really not. Like they're like lie. It's like a fake 1080.
It's like when I want a 4K is what I want. I want a 4K 3D.
If you want a 4K, it's like $800.
Really?
Well, for like a camera. I mean, there's some, but I don't know. It's just webcams never like, I don't know. They never
deliver. They
never deliver. Right? They're good, but they never like. There's like something called a Brio. That one's pretty good.
God, Jeremy said, let's talk about some good stuff. Yeah, Jeremy, I think Jeremy's coming on the Headhunter live show. I think it's either this Friday or next Friday. Do you know Jeremy?
No, I gotta
Jeremy. Man, look him up, man. He owns a someone said, when's the last time you had some sleep? But yeah, Jeremy owns a recruiting firm in Houston, and man, he's killing it, man. He's killing the game, and he's got a lot of followers on LinkedIn, so he's doing a lot of content, a lot of good stories in there as well. But he's also just legit guy. I've seen a couple of his podcasts, and excited to chat with him. You know, it's like in the recruiting industry, man. It's like the people that he said next Friday, the people that are just doing new things, man, and just bringing like high energy, and they've got teams that are super motivated and are giving people a chance. You know, we see those hiring manager stories about giving people a chance. There's people in the recruiting world that are giving people a chance.
Yeah.
Teaching them how to make some good money, treat clients well. So excited about that.
Yeah. So the Logitech Brio 350 is a good camera. Then who Momo asked when was like, so I woke up like 25 minutes ago. Like Joel said 110, so I was like, I'm waking up 105. So for me, it's like I always look terrible when I don't like take a shower, and like, you know, you gotta like whatever I don't know, whatever it does to me, but I can't just wake up without looking like a monster. I also need to get more sleep, but definitely tonight I'm gonna get some more sleep.
Well, dude, I thought you just got done with the gym. That's
no. I wish. But yeah, I'm not going to. I think New York City has more cases, so I'm just being careful.
Yeah.
But I got some pull-up bands. Like,
okay,
what are my
nice.
goals?
Pull-up pants or pull-up bands?
No, pull-up bands.
Oh, okay.
You don't need pants to do pull-ups. But pull-up bands, it's like it assists you with doing pull-ups. So like, you know, it'll give you some weight assistance.
Yeah.
So no, I could do pull-ups. The main thing I got it was because I've always had a goal of being able to do a one-handed pull-up. And obviously to do that, you gotta like train one-handed pull-up, but you need like assistance, and you need a good amount of assistance to be able to do that. So one day, that's one of my goals.
That's it, dude. That's a pretty impressive goal. I mean, I can.
I had a friend who.
I had surgery on my shoulder, so that's probably
How is
never
it
gonna
now?
happen. It's okay, man. It's still cracking pretty bad. But
Yeah, I had a friend in high school who did it. He did like 4 or 5 one-handed pull-ups.
wow.
He was a beast. He's still a beast, but he was a beast then too.
Well, we got what Sultan said. The Sultan said J&J, no tears, man.
Yeah, no tears, no tears.
That's how we do. We don't play in this show. What do you I talked to Michael Goldberg about this too just a couple minutes ago. I was on his live show. What do you think about this these stories on LinkedIn, man? Are you using them? Like what's your take on it?
Stories, it's interesting. It's kind of, it is sort of different for LinkedIn, but I do, one thing I don't like, I wish you could go to someone's profile and check their story. It's like only on the top, which kind of sucks.
You get kind of people that you've never even really talked to before.
That's cool, like people message you. So I think for like little updates, it's like really cool. Like I showed how I have like how I built my own computer. So that was cool. I got some people messaging me. It's you got to get that in. So I think it's good for like little updates. Like I'm gonna say, hey, going live today, and put that on my story. So you just never know who's gonna tune in. Crap! I'm supposed to let people know I'm going live.
That's it. I mean, it could be a good way to give people the attention. I think what I've been struggling with is like, man, you get to some people and they got like 18 like little stories, and I'm like, dude, I can't watch 18 of those, man. Like I could do like 3 or 4 at most, and then once you get 3 or 4, delete some of those out, get them out of there, and let's move it on. But I do like that capability of just being able to. Hector said he got some interesting feedback. What kind of feedback did you get, Hector? People love it, people don't like it. Put that down there. And Katie says hi too.
Hey, what's up, Katie? Katie's all very supportive of people. I like people like that.
Yeah, and then want to see my real stories? Follow me on Insta. Oh yeah.
Well, yo, drop your Insta.
Yeah, drop that in the link. But if you want to see the real stories, man, I think you've got to go on Twitter. That's where the real stories go, man. Some of that stuff is hilarious on there. Are you on Twitter?
Yeah, nah. I think all I do is like DJ stuff. That's all I do. I barely use it. Yeah, it's just one of those things, man. And you know it better than me. It's tough to manage multiple platforms. But are you still doing the TikToks?
No, I quit. I quit TikTok. I went on TikTok to like understand just like short video content, build up a little bit of
job at it.
Build a little bit of a following. I mean, like 3,000 followers isn't bad, but it was just trying to understand like the mindset behind that short form video. But to be honest, unless you're like, I got that one friend who's local to me who's got 6 million followers. He got 6 million followers in 9 months. He's converting them over to Instagram, but he's doing like short form physical comedy, and it's hilarious, and he's doing really well. But unless you're doing something like that, or
it's hard.
You're a good video editor, or you're creative,
you have to be
like a Vine guy or one of these. Unless you're into that, for me on recruiting, it was just more just trying to understand like, what is this about? And now it's just I don't have the time to.
It's just
putting out a lot of videos.
So, because Twitter is its own thing, Instagram is its own thing, Facebook groups is its own thing. So I'm focusing on LinkedIn and Facebook groups. I do a little on Instagram, like posting. I like that for LinkedIn, someone else can post for you. Not for LinkedIn, I mean Instagram. So crush that. For Instagram, someone else can post for you, right? Because it's not like a person. Whereas like LinkedIn, I feel like if someone else posts for you, it's your own personal profile. So it's like it loses a lot of touch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's I think for the LinkedIn, like it's just really obvious when it's just like recycled and kind of copied content. That's what has really been sticking out to me recently. And it's like you get a good post, and then you recycle it 3 times in 2 months.
Yeah.
It gets old. But
man, that's I see a lot of people recycling posts, like, and it's like, look, I think it's okay to recycle, but when you're doing like a 3-week cycle, that, hey, what's up, Kelsey? It's I don't know, man. That's just kind of whack. Like, if you're doing 3-week cycle, you're just only trying to get followers, and a lot of people forget to cater to their existing followers.
Well, exactly. But I talked to someone a while ago, and they would just like come up with like the best posts that you have, and then just you can reuse it every. What's up, Kelsey? I was feeling a little left out that you just said hi to Janai and didn't say hi to me. So you're up.
Well, I invited her.
Oh, you did. Well, see.
Yeah,
you're smart. You got to put out those links. But yeah, this guy. So I met with someone, and they were like basically just come out with like the viral post, and then if you get one that's viral, recycle it. But
that's
it's
so
just not,
funny, man. That's
I know. Well, it's you lose just like the genuine moment, And I think with all content, it is just like in the moment. You got to put out what you're thinking, and if you don't, it's okay to have some stuff planned, and planning is good. But
yeah,
you gotta have some spontaneity once in a while to stay relevant. Otherwise, it does just get old really quick.
Yeah.
And then look at this. I post on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. That's a lot of stuff.
The respect. I don't know how you do it, but yeah, that's round though. It's like, I know I could just post, but it's hard to grow if you just, like, for me, it's like hard. I want to do it. If I post, I want it to post well. Like, I want to do well.
100%. No, I post a lot, but it's also like it's easier when you're just focused on one thing, and I'm using LinkedIn a lot to be able to connect with the people who I'm looking to connect with as well. So there's a lot of purpose behind it.
Yeah.
But I mean, once you start, it's like you said, like once you start having like shiny objects or like different things like that actually take or once you really have like a real big focus, it takes a lot of time. It is really, really hard to stay consistent with it. But I think you're still pretty active though. I mean, at least once a day.
No, on LinkedIn. Yeah, I'll go like once a day. I mean, I don't answer as many comments. Dude, I didn't check my notifications for like over a week, man.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm probably just not even gonna get to that.
And I stopped checking notifications.
Really? Because I feel bad for the people who tag me and all that stuff.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't. It's too much.
You know what? One thing I'll tell you, no matter how clear it is that I'm being sarcastic, there's always someone who doesn't get it. Like, it's crazy. Like, let me tell you. So, you know how I said my podcast editor got fired? I made a post like that a while back.
Yeah.
Now, it was talking about how he got fired and I hired him. Someone messaged me. He's like, hey, he's like, I see you're looking for a podcast editor. I do podcast. I was like, well, did you read the post? He was like, yeah. I was like, no, you didn't. I talked about how he got fired and I hired him. He's like, oh. I was like, man, you can't do that. Like, you got to read the full post. And then yesterday, so I wrote how this was a lie. Like, it was obviously a lie to set up the post. Like, I wrote how I donated to a homeless man and someone else, right? But I forgot to have my camera crew. And someone was like, obviously I'm just joking. Someone took it as, hey, you're virtue signaling, like as if I actually, it's like, dude, man, you guys are something. And the thing is, like, you shouldn't throw stones from a glass house. The person who commented is funny because I actually know a client of his, and the client had a terrible interaction. So, obviously me, I want to say that's why you suck as a ghostwriter. You're whack and this and that. But, I had to just be like, just give a savage comment and be like, well, I forgot what I said, but I definitely didn't go nice on him.
I mean, I've done a couple of those like jokes where it's like, if you want to grow, hit like, hit comment, do that. And then I'm like, just kidding, like, be a human. And then you get people who are like, open and connecting.
Oh my God.
But it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I get it. You don't have time to read through everybody's posts. I mean, who has time to really engage in a real way?
Yeah, I got time. I mean, I feel bad. I wish I had more time to engage. But yeah, it's like I'm gonna make sure to read a post through before I comment, or else, because nothing's worse than looking stupid, man.
Yeah.
You just look stupid. Like, come on, dude.
But
What are you doing?
there's a lot of robots out there right now. That's one thing I noticed, and I kind of started calling out people I think are robots, and sometimes I get it wrong. But it's like the VA, the robots. I get it. It's a good way to like get your name out there, but like you said, like if you completely miss the context or it's just not you, then it really does lose its power, which I think is it's a big deal.
Yeah, I want to ask the audience. Put a heart if you. Well, not a heart. Put a light bulb. Put a light bulb if you've interacted with. If you've gotten a lot more sales pitches in the last few days, and you know the funny thing is with these sales
Yeah,
pitches
yeah.
is, Joe. Yeah, I got on the phone with Joseph. Joseph is the man. He's so cool.
Seriously, I
So
know.
put a light bulb if you've gotten a lot of sales pitches where you answer I'm not interested, or you answer something and they just follow up with another copy block. Put a light bulb if you've seen that recently. I've gotten that a lot recently.
And then we got what did Kelsey say? She said, "I hate that putting a minute to pay attention." To me, that's. I mean, I posted about today. Like that's how you grow as you engage in a meaningful way. You get to know someone. We got some light bulbs, lots of light bulbs there.
Oh wow! I was thinking about the light bulb engagement symbol, but these guys got out the emojis. Respect. Um, yeah, no, it's sad, man. It's just like, unfortunately, I just hate it because that's how like platforms just change, man. Because there was a time like Instagram was a lot nicer to use. There was a time Facebook was a lot nicer to use. Um, but it
Well,
just sucks.
you got people selling those services. Is what it comes down to. Like
Yeah,
I see people on
too many people
Facebook.
they see, oh, this person got rich from selling the services. I could sell the services. Dude, I
Yeah,
saw someone who charges a subscription $250 a month and he'll comment on 3 of your posts. Like that's ridiculous, dude. Send me a message. I'll comment for free.
you don't even need to. You don't even need to send me a message. I'll probably just find your post if it's something. But that's I saw. So I was on Facebook and I saw somebody who had. It was like in a Facebook group that I was a part of, and they were like, "Yeah, I need help with like social media." And then somebody commented, and it wasn't someone I even knew, but they just commented like, "Oh, I have a $2,000 package for LinkedIn where I can grow your connection base by 200 a week, and I can send out messages to all 200, and it will convert into business." And I was like, dude, you're everything that is wrong with this
Man.
platform right now. But it's like, and then I checked the profile. I was like, the guy's not even really that big on LinkedIn, which isn't really the point of it. But it was just more like, if that's what's being sold off the platform, then that's what comes onto the platform,
Yeah.
and it's a big issue.
Yeah, Kelsey said I told him, can I get a fluff before I get pitched? Like, I don't mind pitches.
And it
It's
says
just
they try
like,
to respect my inbox after completely disrespecting my inbox.
yeah. Look, you know what? Even then, I'll still be okay if they respect you after. But there's some people who are just like dismissive. They'll send this long message. I'm not interested. Okay, that's it. They disappear.
Yeah.
And it sucks. When are we gonna do another show with Adam? I know he has rants built up for days. Adam has rants built
Well,
up for days.
I'll send him a message and try and get him on.
Yeah, nah. Adam's good. Who else? You know what's kind of sad as you grow? It's like there's some people I forget their names and I can't find them. Like in terms of because I don't know their names and they're not active, so I don't know what to search.
The biggest problem I got right now is just got an inbox full of connections because I followed the wrong advice, got maxed out. But then it's like I just noticed like there's not a lot of messages there, so I'm trying to communicate with people. But then also it seems like the newsfeed is kind of weird. Like it just isn't really connecting me with like people I've connected with in the past, and so it's like some days it will, and then other days it's just really random, and so it's hard to keep actually in contact with people, which is the whole point.
Yeah, I found Do you unfollow a lot of people? I unfollow a lot of people. That has cleaned up my feed. So I actually have
I
different sort of.
I've been unfollowing
Yeah,
certain people.
I've been more intentional with unfollowing. So that's cleaned up my feed. Now my issue is like whenever I go on LinkedIn, I go, oh, I gotta support this person's post. Oh, I go down, I gotta support, and it's people who I want to support. So that's good.
Yeah, no, I'm still pretty random with this. We got Kenneth. Oh yeah.
Oh, Kenneth, always, man. This guy has been so consistent.
The Kenneth is like the legend that
He's a
just shows
legend.
up, but never really shows up in my posts anymore. You know, and we
Nah,
got to
he's right.
we got to change that. It's this algorithm is separating
Yo,
close friends.
sometimes when he shows up, he shows up. He shows up different. He shows up with that presence.
It's true, man. It's true. Who have you been connecting with a lot of people offline, or how? I guess
Yeah,
me.
I
It just
mean,
seems like you've been so focused on business.
yeah, I mean, I still connect, man. Like, I actually got a call. I got a call. I got two calls today. I connected with Joseph. I have two calls today where I'm connecting with people. I actually have a call with Gary Travis at 2:30.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. And then I have another call with someone else, and um, yeah, like, dude, I tomorrow I have another call. I try to do like one or two calls a day. Well, one. I try to average like one call a day. The most distinguished gentleman on LinkedIn. Yes.
Dude, I'm doing like 5 calls a day from LinkedIn. Five, like it's a lot of calls right now. But you know what? I see what I've
No, you need
noticed.
it. You're in biz dev phase.
Yeah, and and what I've noticed is like even if I'm talking to someone that's not in my target market, getting a lot of referrals that way from just
Yeah.
having conversations with people. And I think you talk about it a lot where you're like, should I connect with someone just because they're not in my target market? And it's like
No.
everybody kind of is in your target market because you want to just connect with people, and to me it's really powerful. I mean, that's definitely a couple people that I haven't, and I can't for some reason.
No, you know what it is? You know why it's LinkedIn user?
Yeah, why is
It's
it
because
LinkedIn?
their privacy settings. So they have their privacy settings. You know how like there's a setting that you don't want things off LinkedIn?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's it. That's why.
So who can you see? Can you see who that
Yeah,
is?
yeah, I can see that. It's Momo.
Momo.
Momo
Momo's been
E.
on here for a while.
Yeah, that was Momo.
What's up, Momo?
Yeah.
Gary. Let's see. Uh, Sultan says Gary Travis is providing LinkedIn influence package for 14K.
Yeah, it goes up, man. Like I can't believe people like
My package is 100K.
really?
No, yeah, no plan. Like for me to comment one time, I charge 100K.
Dude, if someone paid me 14K, man, they're the only client I need for that month. Nobody like I'll show up to their post. I'll wake up early, comment on their post. I'll do whatever. But I don't know. For me, it's like I just like I thought of. You always think about, hey, if I becoming a LinkedIn coach. I mean, you do it differently. You do it for a specific audience and you build their brand a certain way. But for me, I don't know. I just feel like such a sellout if I became a LinkedIn coach. It's like I got this business and it's like I want to grow that business and I don't want to take credibility away from that.
Yeah, I mean, and I think with the business I got, it's not. I wouldn't even. I mean, it actually turns into coaching, but my whole idea of coaching has even changed, where it's more just like it's just trying to get people into the content creation mindset, and so
Yeah. And you're a
anybody
good
on
content
here.
creator.
Oh, thanks. Well, I mean, well, I think everybody who is basically engaging in this right now puts some content out, and I think everybody's gone through that phase of what am I going to say, and then you just you like break through that. But for some people, like it is actually helpful just to walk through. This is how you take a story. This is how you turn it into some content. This is how you have a strategy. This is how you actually engage with people. But if the heart of it isn't, I actually want to help you grow your business, and if you can't tangibly do something and actually help people grow their bottom line of their business, I mean, great, you get lots of likes and reactions. Trust me on this one, like I've gotten posts which have had 500,000 views, and I got 0 DMs, like, or people asking me for business. And I don't think those hiring manager stories necessarily get business. What gets business is it's knowing how to connect with people off your content offline, turn that into referrals and relationships, So unless you can show people how to do that, to me, it's you can get a lot of these vanity metrics, and it don't really mean much. And so that's the idea of the program. It's just but there's coaching involved because it's just more mindset because people don't always believe that they have value to give, and then you start reading through the LinkedIn feed, and you're like, okay, I probably do have some value to give. No offense to anyone.
No, I mean, Rob says something. I feel a lot of the LinkedIn coaches are pretty fake, and it is because it's like sometimes you want to keep up an image because you're competing with other coaches. So you have to talk about how well LinkedIn works for you, how you get so much money from it, and all that. And I don't know, man. I've never been a fan of people who just talk about how much money they make from anything because that can all be, man. That can all be fake. Right? You've seen it, right? That it's like you can fake everything. Like you can go to your friend's house, be like, yeah, I just bought a house. You can drive your friend's car saying, hey, look at this car I purchased. None of it's like all of that can be fake. So I've never been a fan of those people because their goal is purely to make a lot of money. And money, you got to make money. That's not my goal, right? So I've sort of always stayed away from that.
Who's that one? Is this a guy? He's like super famous guy who was like living like the lifestyle or whatever, and he's on Instagram, really big on Instagram. I can't remember his name.
Dan Blazerian.
And his company's losing $50K a week.
I don't know, and it's all like his dad's money and stuff too, right?
But I that's what I saw in a news article. His company is losing $50K a week, and I think that's why I really respect. There's definitely people I respect on this platform who are like bringing high value content.
Who do you respect? Who's on your list?
Dude, I think like the pause to me is the guy who's the best example because his podcast is just well done. His content's very well done. His message is always high value. He kind of rips on people a little bit, but the reality is too, like he's got a sponsor for his podcast. So now he's got a sponsor. Yeah, he's got a sponsor for his podcast.
That's real.
Companies paying him because they liked what he was doing. So now he's got a podcast that's sponsored, but he's also like wins like high level people on his podcast and his live show, and he makes money from his business. And he's the person that like reels me in because I got into that phase, and I do it every now and again where I'll post something that's fluffy. Now to me, it's just me expressing myself, but I could have got carried away with it. And Adam, dude. Reel it in.
Adam's always there, man. He's always commenting.
He's like, bring it in. Talk about recruiting. Talk about company culture. Talk about how do you build something great. Talk about those things. Talk about the things that are going to really disrupt business how we know it. And that to me is like, it's helpful to have someone around like that. Rich Cardona, he's another guy. He's like, if you look at his videos, like they're well produced. He's very well like just connected with good people, and he's good at engaging and like actually having those real relationships. So I think there's a lot of people who like don't chase after like the vanity metrics, and those are the people that I pay attention to the most because they also are like building business with their content as well. And it's big.
So, Rob says, don't get me wrong, there are good coaches and true influencers out there, but I feel like everyone on this platform is just inundated with posts that should end with, and then everyone clapped. I like that. No, and John also says, cyberspace is heaven for imposters. And it's a skill to be able to understand who's an imposter and who isn't. And unfortunately, a lot of people get caught. They get caught up in that stuff.
Man, what I'm trying to teach people is just how to, because a lot of people too, like, and I talked to someone yesterday, it was a very similar situation. He's like, yeah, I don't need 1 million clients. I need like 1 or 2. And I think for most companies, it is like that. If you're service based, you don't need 1 million clients. You need 1 or 2. And I'm like,
well,
okay,
I actually do need 1 million clients for no degree, right? I need 1 million. If I had 1 million people posting jobs, but no, you're so right that for most businesses, unless you're like a startup looking to scale, you have a certain thing that's like very scalable.
Unless you got like an app or something. But like if you're a service-based business, so maybe you are a coach, or maybe you're a recruiter is a great example. Like in recruiting, you don't need 1 million recruiting clients. You need like 5.
You can't even handle 1 million.
You can't, exactly.
I can only imagine the emails.
You can't, but that's the point. You can't handle a million clients a lot of times. You can handle like a couple of really high value clients. So if you're not getting a ton of engagement, it doesn't actually really matter. It's just like, what are you doing with that engagement? And are you turning it into a high value conversation? And I think that's the piece that gets forgotten about. And that's not what's talked about. Instead, it's like, how do you build up 1 million views in your videos? It just doesn't matter. You get 300 views on your video. And if you can convert the 2 comments into conversations offline that close into business, you're killing it. And you're not spending much time doing it. And that's super smart. Let's see, Rob just said, have to run. Joel Algie would love to bounce into the conversation in a future episode. Oh, dude, I would have sent you the link for this episode. Yeah. We'll definitely do that, Rob. Next time we're on in a couple of weeks, we'll get you on. And then Joseph, Adam does not.
Adam does not play.
He doesn't. Dude, well, let's see what.
Yeah, ask Joseph to come on. Joseph.
Yeah. What am I doing?
Joseph,
we're getting you on this show right now. About to tear it up.
Yeah, sorry for yawning. It's just one of those days, man. It's just like I'm trying to think of like when I could take another nap.
You're all good, dude. I did a class or like a college class yesterday. It was like presenting on LinkedIn, and I did one of the night classes, and there was a guy yawning big time. But he works third shift like IT. So
yeah, dude. I know how it is to yawn, so I don't blame no one. I don't blame anyone because people are tired, man.
People tired. We'll get Joseph on the line here. You better show up.
Oh, quantity with no quality kills business. I like that quote.
Dude, that's going to be his first quote when he gets live on this live. Yeah, I invited Kelsey. She was doing something else, and then
she has a meeting.
And then Katie, I invited too, and she's doing something else too.
Kelsey's on 4 hours. See, I'm on more than 4 hours, but man, it's just one of those days, man. You just need more.
Tuesdays for me were always really rough when I was working in recruiting. For some reason, it was like Tuesday was the hardest day.
Really?
All right, let's see. Is he joining? What do I do? Okay, I message you the link. You just click on the
link, not the picture.
Yeah, don't click on the picture. Click on the link at the top, and then it will bring you backstage, and then we'll throw you on.
Cool. Yeah. So what was your live show yesterday about? Or were you on a live show before this?
Yeah, I was on a live show right before this with
whose live show?
Michael Goldberg.
Okay, you are on Michael Goldberg.
Hiring Transform, so that was cool. And then
it is Tuesday, Kelsey.
And then Monday and Fridays I run the Headhunter Hideout, and we got some big guests coming on there, so I'm excited about that.
Nice. No, that's always cool, man.
Some real classy guys.
Yeah, I gotta do my live show, man. I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, what's up with that, man? Come on, you gotta too tired.
It's just been busy, man. Just been busy. Just like, it's like I want to be at the point where I'm making, like, let's say, if I'm making like 10K a month, man, that's when I could really be comfortable. Cause like I hit that, but I was like, look, I can make that 10K, or I could pay, increase the salaries of my workers and hire a friend. So I chose to do that because, I'll make the 10K, but I'm just thinking about 3, 4, 5 months, a year from now, if I want to make it bigger. And I'd rather be at a point where both my friend and I are making 10K, right? And in order to do that, you got to sort of, invest right now.
Dude, you got
Paul Johnston, his TikTok is so funny. He's so original. You'll like it. And he was actually on a LinkedIn commercial, dude. Like, those ads like LinkedIn. Yeah. I got hired by LinkedIn. He got had a post that went viral, and they selected it. That was cool.
That is awesome. Man, I gotta check out that TikTok then. What's like the theme of it?
Dude, he just does funny stuff, man. Like one time he's like, oh, when the wife calls and she's coming home early, he like vacuums the house in like 3 minutes, and it's like fast forward. That was a good one. That did a lot of views.
I got to, man, it's been a while since I've been on there, but I respect anyone that's doing something on there.
Dude, I used it the other night, and that was the reason I didn't get sleep, because, man, that thing is so addicting. That algorithm. Oh, what's up, man?
Yeah, I feel like I made it.
You made it. You're big.
Yeah, I feel like I'm big time now.
You're big time.
Dude, you're what are you doing right now? You just working out or on a run?
Yo,
Actually, I had no shirt on, so I had to run in and get my computer. I was about to jump in the pool, bro.
It's all good, man. Don't let it stop you from jumping in the pool.
Nah, hey, dude, I'd much rather do this. Come on now.
Well, it's good to have you on the live, man. What did we talk on Friday? And when did you talk to Junaid? Was it last week too?
Well, dude, so let me tell the story. So in true Joe-like fashion, I hit Joel up and I'm like, yo, you want to jump on a call? Joel's like, call me right now. Like, no doubt, right? Jump on the phone, talk for like an hour. I messaged Janai. He's like, yeah, bro, we can get a call. Let me check my schedule. I'm like, oh, he's gonna big time me right now. He's like, yo, I could do sometime like 2 to 3 days from now. Maybe I got like 50. No, I'm just messing with you. But no,
nah,
we got
the
on.
thing is, it's like if you catch me at night, I'll do right now. But it's like a few days. It's just like, you know what? I gotta put it on the schedule. I'll just forget if it's not on my calendar.
That's probably not a good thing that I just have time to give away like that. Like,
Nah,
Nah, dude, it is good. It is good. Like
It
there
is
are
good.
coaches who tell you like, hey, you gotta make sure that people. It's like, dude, nah, just do what you got. Get on the calls when you want to.
so what's up? So what's up, man? So what's going on in your world right now? You're hanging out by the pool. What else are you up to?
Dude, so I recently I'm finding out Wednesday. Hopefully, I'm over this COVID thing. I wound up catching COVID in the office. I went to work finally after like 3 months. First weekend, caught COVID. Things are good. Can't complain. Symptoms have been decent. Like little chills, little aches and pains. But find out about that, and then right now I'm just chilling, trying to figure out what I want to do because I got some things going on right now, but just trying to figure out next steps really.
Got it. Hey, with the COVID, did you lose your
No,
sense
but
of taste?
my wife did. My wife was pissed. She's walking around eating onions, trying to get like some sort of taste, like nothing.
Oh
So
man, that's
she was
crazy.
miserable, and she's like, I mean, she cooks she's like one of those people. Like she's like she ate for like 10 days. She was miserable because she finally got it back. She's like, thank God.
Yeah, I've heard of
much
some
better
people
than-
6 months they can't really smell it, and it's like, and do you know how like smell plays a big part in tasting, right? Like there are
Yep.
people who don't have a sense of smell, and they're like tasting is like so off because it just primes your taste buds.
I mean, it happened to me because I got COVID and I lost
Yeah.
my taste.
Yeah,
It was the worst. Like
yeah.
it was like because my wife's a really good cook, she goes on Pinterest and looks up all these like awesome recipes, and she's just shout out to my wife for doing it. She'll never
Shout
see
out
it.
to your
She's
wife.
not on LinkedIn, but
Shout out to your wife, Joel.
we're on YouTube too, so I'll show her the YouTube video. But anyway, she just like makes the best meals, and it was like I would have this meal in front of me, and I could like taste it from memory, if that makes sense. But then it would go in my mouth, and it would just be like I could like kind of taste like a little bit, but it was almost like it was like a block where I couldn't taste it, and it was the worst. And obviously, I lost a ton of weight, which I clearly didn't, but that's okay.
Dude, you're better than me. I'm sitting at the dinner table like, yo, honey, this is the best steak you ever made, like ever. Like like I'm a jerk like that, you know. I had fun with it.
Well, Kelsey said she's glad you're feeling better, so you got our support here, and then Kelsey's got to go. So we appreciate you, Kelsey. We'll get you on the show next time. But so are you kind of in between stuff right now, job wise?
No, so I'm like anybody else, right? I mean, listen, it's a rough market for anybody else, for anybody right now to get employment. So, I got something going on. I don't know if it's the right fit, you know what I mean? So I'm going through. Listen, I need a job, right? So I'm going to work.
Everybody needs a job.
Yeah, everybody needs a job, right? So, but that being said, right? Listen, to me, culture and fit is everything. Like, I mean, money used to be everything, right? And then like you work hard, so you don't have to make decisions purely based on monetary value, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just, it's a culture thing, it's a value thing, right? It's an integrity. Like I want integrity is the wrong word, but just different values and different. Yeah. So right now, I kind of lucked out. I got some other things going on. Thankfully, I will tell you this: for somebody that literally spent their last 90 days of their life on LinkedIn for like 12, 14 hours a day, Dude, anybody that needs a job, if they're not doing that, and if they're not connecting with the right people, and they're not jumping on stuff like this, and having conversations and stuff. Because listen, I'm having conversations now with people that I connected with 3 months ago that are finally like, hey, stuff's opening up. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. So just in the last 2 weeks, I've gotten more phone calls than I did in the first 2 months on stuff that I didn't. Yeah, it's crazy.
But that's because you had that huge viral post too. How many views you got on that?
Dude, can I tell you something? Yeah. So, and we talked about this,
yeah.
bro. We talked about this, and we talked about this, Janai, too. That viral post was the best thing and the worst thing that ever happened. So it was the best thing because literally right before I jumped on here, I had a conversation with somebody else that had like a smaller viral post that was like, hey, I'm on here for a couple of days. I called them up. I'm like, listen, I was like, let's jump on a call right now. And I've had like 10 conversations with people from that post where I'm like, don't do this, don't do that. Like, don't go spend 14K on a guy that has nothing to do with your industry or is not a recruit, right? Like, don't do nothing like that. And just having those conversations to give people an idea, like, yo, if you stick with this can happen. Like, it does work out. It was the worst thing because I didn't figure out the follow instead of connecting until like a week later, 2 weeks later. And no BS, I was probably Xing out connection requests. Like some days were like 1,000, 1,100 connection requests. And listen, I get it. Everybody's on here for different, connect with people outside. And I get that. There's some personalized requests that came over that were like, yo, we have nothing in common, but I see you do that. Like, and I've connected with those people and it's been cool. But like, yo, I don't need to connect with the guy in like a country I've never heard of that works at like their version of Target that is suspect to begin with because like there's no picture. That is weird, right?
Yeah.
Like, they got some weird things. And then the Bitcoin and those people came out the woodworks like crazy. There's way more on here than I thought.
No, there's dude, it's so many. I mean, I'm pretty sure each of those people have like 5 accounts because they get banned.
Crazy.
I've been getting them on. I've been getting them on. What is it like? Facebook as well. Like people have been connecting me on Facebook to try and sell me on Bitcoin, and then I see like the same profiles and.
Yeah, they all. I don't know where's the source of their profile. They always get like the same. Like it's the same type of profile.
I think that is like
it's always some rich-looking uppity dude that's standing next to something expensive.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But yeah, dude, and the funny thing is, like some of the posts that, like I was telling you, right? I had a post that had like 40 likes and like 1,000 views, but I got 5 job interviews off of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's crazy.
That's the story. That's a story that needs to be heard more because everybody chases those big viral posts. Because I watched yours go off. It was like I think I was one of the first people to comment on it when it had like 100 likes or whatever. And then the next day, or not even next day, it's like the next week. I looked on there. It was like 18,000 likes, and I saw like Luke Matthews commented something like, "What do you say?" He's like, "You go viral once, and then you're done."
Just that's it. Dude. I may never post. Dude, I may never post. No, I'm just kidding. But dude, the funny part was that next day when I woke up, I thought LinkedIn was broken. I thought it was broke because I looked at my app. Like when you look at the app on your phone,
yeah,
and it says like 90, like whatever. It'll say
99 plus.
Yeah, 99 plus, right? I went on the computer. It said 999 plus. Damn. So I guess it doesn't go over 1,000. I looked. I had like 1,500 connection requests, 6,000 reactions. I was like, "What the hell happened?"
That's crazy.
That's it. But the cool thing about it is like you kind of did start showing up out of nowhere, but you're really genuine and you like just were like consistent with your outreach, and obviously you're a genuine guy. And so I think when that happened, it was just like a lot of people who had, when you were like, "Yeah, I got the job" type thing. To me, that's the coolest experience is when I see people with like that green circle on their profile, and then like 2 weeks later they don't have it, and it's someone who's been like just connecting with people and putting themselves out there and in a genuine way, and then you see them without it. Like there's one guy who I know, this guy Michael, who that happened to him. He's like a software guy, and he had the ring and it said open to work, and it was like 2 weeks later he doesn't have it. And to your point, it's cool when you see that and you see people putting themselves out, but you see a community also wanting to help them out. It's a big deal. And I'd say everyone needs to do stuff like that. before
dude,
they lose a job.
Dude, the other part of it, right? So for me, it's been therapeutic from the sense that, so I don't know how much you guys know about what I do, right? But I basically, I've been building and leading sales teams for like 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And the thing for me, the reason why for me, I don't think I'll ever go away from LinkedIn again is what I found I was missing. I get here now because I was always that dude that was like, I'd show up in the field with my reps and just to give them a pat on the back or what, right? Like I'm the guy that's like, I just want to see you succeed and see
Yeah.
you do well. Like that's that's what made me successful in my professional life. And not being in an office, not having a team, like, right? Like, dude, like I genuinely just want to see other people do very well in life. Like, you know, like especially people that do it the right way, that go out there and bust their ass and work hard and stuff like that, right? That's like for me, I didn't realize how much I missed that and how much I get that because like dude, look, literally, I'm that guy on the post. It's like, yo, keep winning, like keep doing you.
Joseph is there. He's there.
Like, just do it, man. Keep doing it right.
Well,
and then-
what does Sultan say?
Send me all the Bitcoiners.
There's Sultan. Abdul, send me all the Bitcoiners FX. I'm recording a podcast episode to share that conversation. Hey, that's a cool idea.
Yeah. The other thing I'll talk about, Joseph, it's like you have the conversations with people that you connected with months ago. Like I'm having sometimes conversation with people I connected with a year ago. And you know, you talked a little, but it takes time because sometimes, like, even if sometimes your best friend, it's like you don't become best friends right off the bat. It's like maybe you didn't know each other and then there was a shared experience. So it's one of those things like so Joel and I have been, or I've been on here longer than you, right, Joel? I like active. I'm talking about active.
Yeah, active. I mean, I came across
February
your stuff
2019.
Yeah, and I came across your stuff in like September, and then you were doing the live shows, and I remember like one of the first live shows, I hopped on and I commented like 20 times, and you're like, "Hey, Joel," and then we hopped on and did a live. I did a live with you, and that was mental health and all that, and that's how we got connected. But a year later, we text, you know, we call, and it's a real friendship relationship there, and we hope that in the future it'll be collaboration for business too. You know, and that's a big, to me, that's a success story. I take friends all day.
So I will be the first to say, and I told you both this, I am here for you, dude. You, Junaid, and Adam need to get on a weekly show for all the fans. Do it for the fans, baby. Do it for the fans. You need to get on that. I'm telling you.
Look, I'm gonna counter it. Not weekly, bi-weekly. You know why? I need Adam.
Listen,
look,
I'm about to get a second job to sponsor it, bro. Like, I'm dead serious.
Look, I'll tell you why. 2 weeks. I need Adam to build up that frustration and rant over 2 weeks. You can't have him weekly. You need to build him up like, nah.
Yeah,
you know? Like I want it to be like 1 week. Be like, damn it, the show's next week.
Yo, Adam's the only dude that, like, if he ever made a post where like he's like, life is good, everything's great, everything's like, I got a message like, yo, you all right, man? Like everything okay? Like things really working out like that?
Yeah. No, so someone says, how do you propose massage therapists get more clients? I think talk about the benefits.
Send some good massages.
Yeah. I mean, talk about like the benefits of massages. Talk about how you know the issues you solve.
Probably a lot of people with stress right now.
Yeah.
So I think it's like the same thing that you do when you walk into a massage office, right? You see all the information on the wall, like share that information.
Yeah, over course. I think that'll be good. And so Paul Johnson, his thing. He was the one. So he was on a LinkedIn banner, like a LinkedIn commercial, like a Subway ad. He was on one of those. He's a cool dude, man. He's a cool dude.
Well, but I love that because I mean, how many, Joes, if you don't mind sharing, I mean, how many, you must have got 1 million plus views on that one.
Bro, so the funny thing with me is I only have like 2,500 connections. That's what blows my mind. Like,
how many views did you get on that post though when you posted
it? It's up to 923,000.
So million,
and I keep like I go to bed and think like it's over, and then I wake up and it's like 927,000.
Look, there's some posts that they keep going, man. Like my post that hit 100K, I think in the first day it was like 30 to 50K, and then every day it would just add, and then it just stopped at like 100,080. I was happy. I was like, look, I'm a 6-figure guy.
Travis has got that post. I think his has got like 450,000 likes.
Damn.
And that you just do the math on that. I mean, if you got 18,000,
but you know, it's kind of weird. Like some posts don't get as many views as you would expect. Because my post that hit 100K views, it's like 380 likes. It's not even anything crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy.
Yo, but that's the crazy part though. Like, right? Like, what does that tell you though? Like, the shit is good. Like, if you're I can't tell you in the beginning how weird it was because I'd have like 10,000 views with like 50 likes or
Yeah.
50 reactions, and I had nothing. I mean, listen, for me, it's a little different. The reactions, whatever. I'm like, let me just get one reaction of somebody that's hiring that's gonna pay me some money to go do a job, right? But like it's crazy. I was seeing like I had one that had like 9,000 like 800 views. The job one. The one was like a job like go out and job land with my job I posted like a meme, whatever you call it, right?
Yeah.
It had like 9,000 views with 7 reactions. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
dude, that's intense.
it's
That's
crazy.
Like, yeah.
Someone else did send me a message recently too, where I think they had like 20,000 views and 30, and like really low amount of reactions on it as well. But I mean, that's the cool thing though, is like you don't actually need like a ton of connections.
But sometimes what happens is a lot of people are actually looking at it. I think if it probably is like they probably look at it and they check out your profile. There has to be like some other thing that's causing it to keep on going.
So I always wondered this. And I'd love both of your opinion on this, because I'm going to be the first to admit this has happened to me. Yeah. I actually look at a post, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, yo, if I react to this, everybody that I know is going to know that I reacted to this, and even though I like it, right? And I'll be the first to admit it. I'm transparent. I have not liked posts because of that. And, I think that might be a little bit of what it is too, right? Like you got some posts that may not align with your view or your industry's view or whatever that you agree with, but you just kind of get scared of clicking that reaction button.
No, I mean, look, I'm a business owner, so I have a little more flexibility, but I know a lot of people, and I'll tell you, so when obviously pre-COVID, when I used to like network a lot of people watch my live shows who I was like, I didn't know they were active on LinkedIn. So you'd be surprised at like who watches you and all that. And so some people just have to be mindful. Like you make a comment and it's like, I mean, look, I'm judgmental too in terms of some people make comments. I'm like, yo, that was stupid, man. Like what?
Or it's like you don't want to, if you're a CEO of like a huge company, you don't want to interact out. You don't want to like necessarily interact, because then I think, or if you're an HR manager, for example, like a lot of HR managers aren't going to start liking a recruiter's stuff, even if they like it. Why? Because the recruiter's going to reach out to them in 10 minutes and be like, oh, you engaged with my stuff, So it's like, it's like you almost don't want to let yourself out there for that as well. So it's easier to lurk, I'm sure.
Dude, I will tell you that is real. Like I have people that I work with when I was with like Fortune 30 companies and stuff like that were doing their thing on social. And I can't tell you how many I've had to do that with people that reported to me, where I've had to make that phone call and be like, yo, you got to chill out on LinkedIn. You got to chill out on Instagram. You got to chill out on Facebook, right? Because they get involved in conversations that it happens. Like I've had to make probably 15 of those calls in the last 2 years where I'm like, yo, shut down your Facebook for a couple weeks, calm down. Like, like you have to make that call.
Yeah. No, especially it depends. Like most of the time it's like, don't be a jerk. That's really what it comes out. It's like, yo, you're being
it's hard
though.
Jerk.
It's hard.
It's hard when you, I mean,
not for me, I'm not a jerk, but like for people, it's hard.
It's just hard to not be emotionally charged, especially if you see something and I know like my wife, she uses Facebook and Instagram, and those, especially right now with like election time and, tensions with race and like just there's so many things, and COVID even is like, that's like the norm now is news around COVID. So there's all the opinions, and it is so hard to not, it's just so hard to not get emotionally charged. And then, but I always tell her, I'm like, you want to know like the key of when you should comment or not? If your hand is shaking and you feel emotional, just walk away from it right now. And unless you can come back to it in a calm way, put your idea out there and be respectful and positive, then what's the point? Because I've never seen anybody get into an argument on social media and walk away and go, they really changed my mind with that.
It's pure time waster. It just
pure time waster.
You just feed into it.
The companies, they don't care. The more time you spend on the platform, the more people see, the more, right? So it's like, you definitely have to like kind of just walk away. That's why like there's some comments, man. When I get some comments, I just ignore on my post. I'm just like, okay, cool. Like I don't even respond because some people are looking for that reaction and they're ready to argue with you all day.
I've
Yo,
had
so
both.
yeah, I'm the guy that like I'll private message that person and be like, let's talk. Like I like dude, like for me, conflict is therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
So like not on the comments or whatever. I don't want to like
Yeah.
put anybody on the spot, but I'll private message like I'll use an in-mail on that dude and be like, yo, what's so
What
wrong with your
happened?
day?
What
Like let's
happened
talk.
after that? Did the
No,
tone change?
I've had some pretty good conversations. I mean, some people are just listen, you can't change stupid, right?
Yeah.
Like some people are just stupid. Some people like don't answer. Some people are like F you, this, that, and the other
Yeah.
thing. But yo, I've had like 6 or 7 good conversations with people where they're like, yo, I'm just having a bad day. I'm like, yo, I get it. Like you don't have to like
Yeah.
let me help you not have a
That's
bad
cool.
day, right?
Yeah,
Well,
I've disagreed with people in the comments, but it was respectful, and we became
Yeah.
friends.
I did have someone reach out to me on Sunday, and it was an in-mail, and it basically just said poor image, but it was talking about recruiters, and we had a conversation. It was a decent conversation, but then it just was like I kind of offered. I just said, hey, a lot of recruiters are really busy. The in-house recruiters at a company, they're overwhelmed. They got a lot of recs. It's a pressure job. It's not really like that rewarding compensation wise. So yeah, they drop the ball. They're overwhelmed. It's a hard job. Agency recruiters, most of the time, if it's not going to lead to money, they're commission only. So they're gonna do what makes money. And it's just those are facts.
Yeah.
Laid it out there, and they were like, "Well, how does that help me?" I'm like, "Well, it's not supposed to
You have
help
to
you. I'm
understand
just
the
telling
game.
you
You
the
have
I'm
to
just telling you
understand.
the facts." Exactly. But then it kind of did turn a little bit negative, and I just thought,
Dude,
you don't
one
know what
time,
people are going through, so I
one
just left
time
it.
Joel sent me this like referral for a resume. Dude, this guy, I gave him like the craziest offer. This guy was just so negative. Like, dude, it's like he got ripped off on a resume. So I said, dude, I'm gonna give you some free advice. You don't have to use me. I was like, look, if you give me like a $30 deposit, you can pay the rest after I do your resume. He goes on about resume writer. I was like, dude, well, that person didn't give you a good Then he yelled at Joel for telling me his resume wasn't good, but it wasn't good. It was just like you had like all this green, you had like a graph on your resume and all this other crap. It was just like, dude, this guy Joel had to block him. I just had to let the thing just fizzle out, right?
I
Like,
think I blocked him because he just kept
dude, the
like
dude was
messaging
so
me about
annoying, man.
you, and
That
I'm
dude
like,
was like, yeah, he
but
was
people have
annoying.
different issues going on, and it's like I get that as well, and it's like I am
Yeah.
gonna have grace for most people, but then at the same time,
Nah, this
it's
dude took it to
almost
the
like
next level.
yeah, well, and it's like I know like sometimes people reach out to me and it's like yeah, I'm struggling with this, struggling with that, and I'm like, hey, look, I'm in the same boat as you, man. Like I'm just a regular dude. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to provide for my family, and it's like
I don't got a pool like Joseph, man. I still haven't made it.
Yo,
When I got a pool like Joseph,
yeah,
then it's
yeah,
different.
he's
dude,
chilling by the pool.
you know what the crazy part is though? And dude, I say this to say, and I think you guys
Yeah.
deal with this too, right, in your industry. But I've been in sales forever. Anybody that shows up with the right mindset and attitude does much better than that negative person, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the times, like, dude, listen, like I wasn't BSing in that post, like literally 327 applications, like 18 interviews later and stuff like that, right? Dude, not one day, like, don't get me wrong, internally, maybe I had a couple bad days and I was a little upset or whatever, right? But like I get online, I get on a phone call or whatever, I turn that off, and it's all about your mindset and the attitude that you approach
Yeah, you
everything
gotta
with.
pick yourself up.
A lot of these people that are like, oh, I've been out of work for a year or I can't find anything. I'm like, it's not that. It's like you're not going about it the right way. And you think like just by showing up and complaining that you don't have a job, like that's not going to get you a job. Like you got to
Yeah.
you got to go above and beyond right now. Like I can't, like
Yeah.
I've done video messages, I've done phone calls, I've done text messages, I sent out 3,000 emails. Like you got to go above and
You gotta
beyond
go
and
hard.
have the right attitude.
You gotta
love
go
that.
hard. And the thing is, you know what I find? A lot of people don't have good communication skills, and that's what really holds them back. It's like you gotta be able to communicate, you gotta be able to talk to people, you gotta be able to have good conversation because it's like people just ask me, hey, can you help me find a job? It's like
Doesn't work like that.
you're across the world. I don't know what you do. You have a degree. It's like I'm not like, look, if someone without a degree says me, I'll go spend some time. That's my target market, right? That's who I'm here to help. I'll point them. But then it's like people message me, be like, hey, I need help interviewing. It's like, well, I have a podcast? And then, the thing is, I'll send them a podcast. Only 10% ever listen. So it's like, dude, you ask someone for help. I recorded that specifically because people need help for interview, and you don't look at it. It's like I'm just gonna look at you differently.
100%. Well, I get, as a recruiter, you just get people, hey, can you help me find a job? And then I just ask, so what kind of job are you looking for? Anything. And, I think a lot of it, it's hard because the world's just changed so much. And I just think like 10 years ago, when the recession happened, like LinkedIn wasn't the way it was today. Definitely like applications weren't as they are today. There wasn't the easy apply button. So nowadays, if you are furloughed and maybe you've had a job for 15 years, it's hard to know what to do. But there are simple things of like, talk to this college class the other day. I said, you should just be networking and getting to know people. And one of the questions that came up was, well, if you're happy in your job, should you still be doing all of this stuff? And I said, that's the time you should be doing it. Like taking people out to coffee in your industry, having lunch with them, getting to know them in your industry while you don't need a job. And then if you're out of work or something changes, which is inevitably going to happen at some point, then you can start to reach out to those people and say, hey, remember we connected, what year ago or whatever, or whenever that was. But then at least you have those relationships to fall back on. And I think a lot of people, it's a challenge now, especially now with everything going online. It's like, how do you take these online conversations to offline and start to network in a meaningful way? So it's
take it from somebody that the first thing, which was also the best thing that I did, and I made many mistakes after this, right? So this isn't like, hey, I've been perfect since I've been on LinkedIn. I've done stupid things. I'm not gonna lie. Like my first week, I may or may not have commented on a like, tell me where you're from and say hi post. I'm not gonna confirm nor deny that, but I'm gonna say that it's happened, right? So I've made mistakes, but
no, but you live and you learn.
But dude, when reaching out to the first thing I did was I typed in talent and acquisition, Miami, Florida, right? That's the first thing that I did. And I went through everybody that was at sales, right? Everybody that was relevant in my industry. And I sent them all the same message. Hey, out of work for the first time in 20 years. Maybe you may not have anything for me, but I think we could be a mutual beneficial for each other. I know about 1,000 sales reps that just got laid off that are all looking for work. You're looking for salespeople in your industry. I see that by your post, right? Maybe you have something for me, maybe you don't, but let's connect and see where it goes. And I can't tell you how many meaningful, like if you go through the like 2,500 people that I'm connected to, like 800 of them are recruiters that I probably talk to, message with, or whatever, even now, once a week, once every other week, something like that. And I found like 50, 60 people jobs through them, like that needed jobs that fit with the criteria that they were looking for. And that's how we built that relationship. If you're not doing that within your industry and approaching it in a mutually beneficial way, that's the issue.
100%.
Like it's got to be beneficial for everybody.
Well, I love it, man. I think it's a great tip, and obviously you got a job, you got some stuff going on as well, which is what we like to hear. But we got man, we've been on air now for like an hour and 10 minutes. And I was looking through, it looks like 120 comments on that. So I just love the engagement, obviously, from everybody. And we run these shows every 2 weeks. And so Joseph, we appreciate you just jumping on like this, man. And we'll be doing this in 2 weeks too. As anyone else that wants to hop on, we'll send you a little message with the link. And if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. That's the whole idea of this. So Joseph, why don't you close us out, man? Just give us like, let's see. We could do an Adam Posner here and ask for like the best advice you have for someone, but I don't know. I'm going to leave it to you. Close us out.
So you know what? Just because I respect Adam so much, I'll go that route, right? So for me, the best advice that I would have for anybody is show up, be yourself, be consistent, and just be you, right? Like LinkedIn is the greatest platform in the world to be yourself, right? Use that to your advantage. Not everybody's gonna like it. That's cool. That's awesome. But you make real relationships. Like I have made more real relationships here in the last 3 months than I've made in probably the last 10 years. So just be consistent, show up, and be you. When you be you, that's when everything starts to click here, because you're gonna connect. There's like this magnetic energy that just connects you to the right people. That's how I found Joel, Janaid. Kelsey's awesome. There's a bunch of Luke. It just attracts you.
I gotta head out.
Do
2:30.
your
My
thing.
bad. Yeah.
All good.
Yo.
All good.
Do you?
All right, guys. Well, that's the show, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you jumping on, and those are great words too. And I feel the exact same way. So we'll end this. Just hang out backstage here real quick.